Hello, this is David with Vascular Anesthesia. This week, another interesting topic on insomnia. Y'all got to stay tuned. This is going to be great. So today we're going to talk about some CDC recommendation, a couple other things, and basically the healthcare system, and maybe a little mixture of some healthcare institutions in Texas. So CDC, 5 days, making a lot of people mad. Nurses, providers, doctors. Grandma mad, everybody mad, you know. People don't like the idea of this. NBA players, I mean, it's 10 days in the NBA, I think. Healthcare has basically, they didn't push this out so far where politicians are providers now. Yeah. They're basically telling people this is what you need, whether it be the vaccine or getting COVID itself. So we just going to kind of pass the mic around and kind of talk about basically CDC, healthcare system, whatever you want to talk about.
I mean, my issue is that we all know that there's people who have COVID, but they're asymptomatic or whatever. So, you know, you come into work, you're spreading it to everybody else or whatever. You know, even when the pandemic first started, the problem that I have with the politicians is where were y'all at when we were wearing the same N95 over and over, because y'all can't even give us the proper utensils to do our job, you know?
Preach.
But yet y'all want to come in here and tell us what we should and shouldn't be doing. When did you take care of a patient? That's all I be want to know. Y'all, I mean, do we come into y'all office and tell y'all what laws that need to be passed?
Well,
like, don't get me started. Because you know
that governor, up in here.
That governor in New York, she had me pissed off. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl.
Sanitra, what you think?
I pretty much think that as a healthcare provider, we are over this pandemic, point blank, period. You know, people just want to do what they want to do. We live in a society now where we actually don't respect nobody. It's just self. You know, I want what I want or whatever. I want to do what I want to do, regardless of the fact is that I got a cold, I got the sniffles, I got a temperature of 103, and I'm going to go out to the club, I'm going to go out to the bar, and I'm not going to wear my mask or whatever. And so that's the problem that we're constantly having, you know, with this. You know, people, we understand that, you know, a lot of people, like during the pandemic, some of the spouses, they got laid off their job. So, of course, the other spouse had to work. Well, that spouse got COVID. You know you got COVID because you was laying in the bed next to them, and they was coughing all over you. But then you come to work, come in the break room, no mask on, coughing, spreading. You know what I'm saying? It's just a really rough time. But I just feel like, you know, we need to begin to learn to respect each other, period. Respect each other's decision, whether you take the vaccination or not. Just respect each other's decision. If you're sick, stay at home, you know? Somehow, some way, your bills is going to get paid regardless.
Right.
Government giving out free money.
Yeah, they are.
There's millions of people that didn't go to work.
We would like to know.
That didn't go to work.
Right, but we would like to know, when are y'all going to take care of our student loans? That's all we want to know.
Ooh.
You can take care of all of mine. I'll
Look,
give you out.
that's a big.
You can take care of all
Look
of
here.
mine.
Wiped away.
Yeah, you can cancel mine.
Cancel my whole student.
Look here, President Biden. Look here. You want to keep deferring them?
That's the whole healthcare.
We got a member of the Marine Corps. Look. Lee, what you think about this?
Kind of to echo what they were saying, I think the healthcare workers were in the toughest position last year because, well, even now I guess, but we had to be in people's, as anesthesia providers, we had to be in people's airway. We had to be in the face of these people. We didn't get to stay home. We didn't get to isolate. Frankly, they didn't even want to know if we had COVID because we weren't even getting tested.
Exactly.
So we didn't get compensated for that. We didn't get hazard pay. We didn't get anything.
Hold on, who you was working for?
Pizza party.
Hold on, who you was working for?
Party and a shirt.
And
Who were you with during that time?
USAP.
Oh, wow! They didn't compensate y'all. Oh my
And
goodness. Oh.
I mean, just to be clear, we had to wear this PAPR suit for every single person in the company. Had to wear this 1 or 2 PAPR suits for months, and I think it was designed for disposable, as in like 1 or 2 wears. And so it was completely disgusting, completely unsanitary. And yet, just a few weeks before COVID, we got yelled at for wearing a mask around our neck.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Leaving the
Isn't
OR.
that- ain't that
And then
crazy?
a few weeks into COVID, we got yelled at for not having a mask on, the same mask from surgery to go into the bathroom. So it was completely unethical. It was completely, the hospitals stored a lot of equipment and saved a lot of money, so to speak. I do believe there was probably a shortage of resources, but it was taken to the extreme. And back to the respect thing, I think overall everything has been taken to the extreme. I'm not going to go purposefully spit on people's faces, and I'm not going to go live my life in a hole scared of COVID. And I just feel like it's been a matter of disrespect, like just to echo what she said with everything, like, if you want to choose to get the vaccine, that's great. If you choose not to for personal reasons, that's great too. But just use common sense in the area. And I just think it's been so politicized, so everybody gets angry about every single thing. I personally lost track of all the CDC recommendations because they changed a lot, but I just choose to use common sense and anywhere I can, and
Like
be
the Dos Equis
responsible.
man.
And as a healthcare worker, we're still in people's faces, whether they have COVID, tested, not tested. And we have to bring that to our family and take that risk.
So from New York,
So I don't understand why a public person would be angrier than anybody in healthcare, but that's just my personal stance.
from New York to California to Florida to Texas, that equipment you were talking about, that these healthcare institutions, that was for protection, right?
Correct.
Would you, sounds disgusting, would you wear a condom twice? It sounds nasty. That's disgusting, right? I'm just saying, would you? Yeah. I mean, would you wear it twice or 3 times? How many days were, like, truthfully, how many days were we wearing these N95 masks or to protect it?
I eventually chose
like
not
she
to wear
said.
the PAPR. It was so disgusting.
Yeah.
And look, some people don't even wash their hands
Right.
in the
Exactly.
bathroom. No telling,
Yeah.
they're not cleaning the inside of that thing. And these are my coworkers. Like, they're not cleaning the inside of that thing. And just from a sanitary purpose, even if you did clean it, I don't want to wear the same hood.
Yeah.
I mean, it must have gone from May to, I don't even, like,
I can't
6
even imagine
months,
the
I
breath.
think.
Or you have
The
those
same-
other healthcare workers be like, well, I don't want to work with you because you're not vaccinated. Well, I don't want to work with you because I know that you have HIV, but I'm not saying that.
And they
However.
wouldn't give nurses, if the patient had possible COVID symptoms, they wouldn't give the nurse in the operating room an N95 net mask. They just told
That's
them
crazy.
no. And I couldn't believe that. Like, I thought, you don't even care about the health of your, providers.
But we
You're
have to
here
talk about
working
it.
while everybody else is home protecting themselves.
But we have to talk about it because the public will really never know what goes on in the operating room during anesthesia. They don't know what goes on the floor anywhere. That they just think like, oh, they got plenty of equipment. No, we wearing the same stuff over
And
and
it
over.
even got to a point where, I guess I had more to say than I thought, even got to a point where, like, I would have report and they wouldn't even tell me the patient had COVID. So I walk in the room and they're like, oh yeah, this patient has COVID. Well, like 4 months ago, this was like a day's event to plan for a COVID patient. And now it just wasn't even in report, to where it all became very, just a mess. Just a complete ethical and health concern mess.
Because I think at one facility, like, we were wearing the N95 like for 7 days. You would take it off, put it in a bag, in a brown paper bag. And I'm like, how? And I would have to put like another mask inside my N95 to wear it or whatever. Because I'm like, this has to be nasty.
I
Like,
started storing N95s in my locker because I knew they wouldn't give me another one.
Yeah, and it's a crying shame that you have to go to that extreme
Yeah.
to like grab you some, put in your locker just so that you can protect yourself. Because what a lot of people don't realize is, yeah, we're coming to take care of you, but we have a family at home too, and we're not trying to bring what we get at the hospital home to our families. And I think that's what the public don't realize when they always want to point their finger at us, like this is what y'all should be doing. We have a family too, you know. Because that was
clear,
one of the
no,
first
we didn't
things
get
that
any
my
government
husband
pay.
said.
No government paid, no nothing. Right?
Well, like she was said, I think like healthcare workers, they're over it. You know, it seems like the stuff changes every week, and it seems like the changes are more out of convenience than actual follow the science. Where you go from 14 days, you isolate 14 days. Now it's 5 days, and then first you could wear basically a T-shirt over your face, and now there's like, oh no, now it's you need a surgical mask or N95. You can't, the cloth masks are no good anymore, and so like it's frustrating that it's the changes are coming like every day. It's something new. Oh, we gotta do this. As healthcare workers, it's like I guess we just have to learn to live with it and just move on. Got COVID, stay at home.
Yeah.
When you feel better, come back to work.
And then you know how some facilities went from testing patients, and then patients get mad because they're vaccinated. They don't want to be tested and stuff like that. So it's just like we're over it.
Yeah, every procedure they would get tested before they had a procedure. Then nope, they don't do that anymore. Just come on in.
Then it was if they're having MAC, they don't have to get tested, which never made sense to me. You're still sedating them. You still have the possibility of going general. And then general, they had to get tested. So it all became a moneymaker in the end, like whatever was convenient for them.
I agree with every last one of them. It's almost kind of like watching reality TV, and it's kind of like reality versus like what you see on reality TV. Because, like on Keeping Up with the Kardashians and all of the shows, they edit all of it so that it shows you what they want you to see.
Exactly.
But you actually, even though it's reality TV and they say that they're putting it all out there, you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. And it's always another story, And it's like what you see in the hospitals, what you experience actually as a healthcare worker, you having to go home and think about, what you may be taking home to your family or how this is going to affect you, because as healthcare workers, we have stuff too, and it's like we still have to take care of you, but because you don't want to stay home or because it's not convenient for you or because you're getting a little bit of pressure from constituents in your district, you want to change things, or you feel like, oh, well, the left is saying this and I'm on the right, so let me just go opposite of what they say, and no matter what, I'm just going to agree. It just all becomes a big mess. And like I said, it's like reality versus reality TV, CNN said that, there were 250,000 people who died, and then you hear on Fox News, oh, but it was actually only 225,000 that died of COVID-related issues, and the rest of them were actually died of COVID. It's like, what does that mean? Like, how do you twist this? Or it's all just. It's a mess. I think that everybody is over it. I think the healthcare workers are especially over it because we're the ones who are still dealing with it. And like you actually see the people who are like sick. And when you at home hospital, you might not get to see the sick people because they didn't come to your ER. They came to.
They had the mild case of COVID and they weren't sick, so everybody else.
And then you get the family
Exactly.
members who say, "Oh, COVID's not real," and I'm like, "Come walk the hallways of the hospital." Like I wanted to believe it was not real, but every single one of them's intubated, so I don't know what to tell you. And people will argue with you that it's not real, despite what your own eyes saw. Like, I don't have an agenda in this. I'm just telling you what I saw.
And that just
Listen, I'm
goes
trying to
back-
go to work, and I'm trying to get some pay for this.
I had a TikTok video that went viral talking about what's going on in the hospital. Do you know I got attacked not from the public, from healthcare providers.
Mm.
I'm like, yo, it's our job to educate the community, and y'all getting mad because you like, yo, what they saying in the media is not actually true. They just fabricating stuff. We ain't saying that COVID, people ain't in the hospital with COVID intubated. We ain't saying the ICUs ain't filled up with just COVID patients. These people got kidney disease, heart disease, cerebral aneurysms, you know what I'm saying? So everybody in there does not have COVID. And literally, I got attacked.
You say foreign body. Foreign body in the ER.
You don't know how. You don't know.
That's another show of topic.
That's the whole.
Look,
yeah.
that's an interesting show. You'll be surprised when people come in the anesthesia, come with these.
That's
Look,
our next segment.
It's like the Dasani bottle and
Oh yeah,
We got lots
The
of
hair
items on the
brushes.
the
list.
hairbrushes, apples in their butt,
Flashlight.
and Dasani bottles. The people fail to
gerbils.
believe that.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness.
I've seen that.
We got off topic, didn't we?
We did. I
Oh,
digress.
man.
Yes. Oh yes.
Gerbils, Coke bottles.
Yes. Oh
Just
yes.
happened to fall on the gerbil and the Coke bottles.
Yeah. When he get high, he just be putting stuff
Yeah.
up there.
Always men, too. It's rarely women.
I know, it's like all the men.
That gerbil was a man, so was the flashlight.
I think y'all be bored or something.
Women just smarter, I guess.
I guess they smarter, I don't
The
know.
hairbrush.
Oh, man.
I mean, hey, if you want to live that lifestyle, more power to you.
Go
you know?
for it.
Let's tell the truth, because we be looking at you.
We ain't judging you, but
Okay,
But we do want to know the
but we
story.
know.
Exactly. We want to know how that Coke bottle got up in there. How did you fall right on the Coke bottle?
and then,
We're just curious.
yeah, why were you naked?
Why?
Why when we interviewing you got the covers up? Why you can't look me in the eye? Look, we will be right back.